That needs to be said out loud is that as black men age, their desirability increases. Thus, their optionality of women is always expanding. And the exact opposite is true for black women. As we age, doesn't matter how much money we accumulate, our degrees or professional accolades, the reality is that our marriage and partnership market value is depreciating with every passing year. No matter how good we look, no matter how fit we are, men are still seeing primarily our presumed dwindling fertility as a knock against us. And speaking of fertility, that is another reason that I want younger black women to seek marriage and partnership in college or right after, if that's what they choose.
Okay, before we continue with this video, because she had more to say, but I just want to stop it right here for a second before I forget this, okay? I think it's very interesting that when women start to realize the odds are against them, all of a sudden they have this epiphany of, oh, men won't want us if we can't have children, or if we're not in our, natural childbearing age. And, maybe this is the problem, and maybe we should be focused on them first instead of getting to the bag or getting to our career. Like, maybe that stuff is important. But, it's interesting that she said that, the reason why is because of their dwindling fertility. And yeah, that is a piece of it. But if we want to talk about, if we want to have the entire conversation, one of the biggest reasons is because the older that you get, the more stuck in your ways that you get, the harder it is to communicate with you, the harder it is for you to be cooperative in a relationship, the harder it is for you to bend. It goes way deeper than just fertility. Some men may not even want children. Maybe they already have children in the past. Maybe they're okay that if they get into a new relationship or whatever the case is going to be, that they don't have children, within this new space. Maybe they want one child, whatever it is. That is a portion of the conversation. But they can't even get to the point of even having a conversation of possibly having children with you, because any question that they ask you or anything that they are, any concerns that they bring up in the relationship, you already got a problem because, you stuck in your ways and this is just how you are. And, you just got to accept me as I am. I'm already, however old you are, well over in your 40s or whatever, I'm not changing for nobody, what you see is what you get. This is what it is. So we're having the conversation, but, this is just kind of talking about two women trying to make it easier digestible. Well, if you want to have children and he wants to have children, this might be a problem. So you might want to start younger. You might want to be, prioritizing him because of the things that are going to benefit you. What about his benefit? You're trying to make it seem like, oh, not being able to have a child, he may want a child. That's to his benefit. That's still to your benefit. Because now you have a ticket if you want to leave. You got a meal ticket. I'm going to continue because I don't want to jump the gun. So let me go ahead and just press play.
Because the number of college-educated black men is so low when compared to black college-educated women that we're all going to be targeting the same small pool of men. And as we heard today, on most campuses, there's like 7 black women students for every 1 black man student. Y'all do the math. So here's my advice. If you are a young black woman in college and you know in your heart and in your head that you want to prioritize family, I suggest that you simultaneously pursue that MRS degree right along with that BA or JD. Because the handful of black college-age men that actually do desire to get married soon, and they do share that value system, and family is a priority for them too, y'all, that is an incredibly small pool, and it's shrinking as you get older. And by the time you reach my age, 40, you will be faced with different choices relating to life partnership and motherhood. Now, I'm not saying that delaying marriage or motherhood is a bad option, but it's one that comes with its own consequences. And our women deserve to know on the front end of their decision making instead of on the back half. this is a conversation for ladies. And I texted my good friend Charlamagne. I said, as a friend to the show, I heard the conversation yesterday. I appreciated the critique and the constructive nature of it. And I said, since I'm down the street on the train, let me pull up and I want to hear from you, Lauren, about what you agree with and what you disagree with, and have a ladies conversation about
Let's do it. So the disagreeing for me came with the starting with the infertility and the market value, the appreciating. So with the infertility, I know I said this yesterday, some stuff is science, right? You can't get around that. But I feel like when you start with that and you lead with that, it then makes people get defensive and they don't even hear the rest of it. I know when I first listened to it, I was like, oh God, this is going to be another one of those conversations where like someone's telling me as a woman, by the time you get this age, your life is over. And, when you're trying to figure things out and you're like, I'm 31 years old, right? Like, I'm recently out of a very long relationship. As a woman, as a Black woman, right? Especially working in the space that I work in, I might not get that other chance. Like, I got to do it right the first time. And I think
you're talking about professionally?
Professionally and personally.
Okay.
But I just feel like when you lead with the stuff that you lead with, it instantly turns the conversation negative. And for someone like me who is watching and learning and listening to you, it makes it where now I am defensive. I don't want to watch, listen, and learn. I don't hear the rest of what you're saying. So now I'm not being taught. And I should feel like I can listen to you and learn from you and not feel like you're the op.
So I want to just go back actually to your first point, Lauren, which I think you are conceding that you had a reaction to my commentary that was so visceral in nature that you actually shut down your listening comprehension skills.
Yeah.
You said that.
Yeah.
Okay. So because of that though, right, I'm not going to sit in a posture of ownership because you made a choice to be limited in the way in which you received and processed the information. Now, you are a grown woman and you have autonomy over what you choose to consume and what you choose to not consume. So when I was giving the advice, the strategy, the game, putting, certain people up on some game, I'm talking to a very limited pool of young Black ladies, the ones that are currently in school or immediately following school or graduate school. So this is actually not even applicable to you, Lauren. No, let me finish.
No,
right?
hold
No,
on.
I have to
Wait,
finish
wait,
because
wait,
you.
Wait, no, wait. Hold on.
I have to finish my thought.
I just want to wait before you finish your thought.
Okay.
I just want to let's rewind a little bit because I also think too the reason why people also, because not just me or the people, because even the people it's meant for, I'm sure some of them did the same exact thing as well
and
too,
some
right?
did not.
Right, and some did not.
And some did not.
Right.
Because
but
you read all the comments, right?
Yeah, I did.
And
but
some
what
people really
what I think
appreciated
happens
that.
is with you, and I saying this in the most respectful way, I think that the way that you approach things, like even this conversation right now, it can make it does that. It dilutes the whole point of
for you.
You're talking
Lauren.
to me specifically
Yeah,
right
You
now.
said you agreed with Ebony though.
My whole point of what I'm saying, right? Because right now I feel like you're taking what I didn't agree with and the fact that I don't remember specific words or whatever
No, I'm
you
not,
said.
Lauren. Really, I really think this would be better served and more productive if just like it's kind of like an opening statement in a court of law. I gave you a good amount of time to lay out two prongs of disagreement, and I respect and appreciate both of your positions. I'm not saying they are wrong, but I am saying I don't know how productive it is to be the time, manner, and delivery police. So for everybody, Lauren, that takes your position, which is very valid, it was visceral to me. I found it triggering. It felt hurtful. I felt attacked. I felt policed. I felt shitted on, whatever it is. There's also a whole nother contingency of Black women that felt seen by that commentary, that felt heard. And my peers who are 40 and up are like, I wish someone would have told me. And the fact that you are doing the labor, Ebony, you are doing the service of letting young girls that are currently in position to put themselves in best practices matters. And it's good that somebody is rolling up their sleeves and doing the work and having the conversation publicly that quiet as kept many pockets of Black elite culture are having with their children generationally every day.
That was the intro. And so peace to the tribe, peace to the collective. As you know, when you do live videos, YouTube don't immediately let people know that your video is being presented. So with that being said, I had some, I would say, research-based content to help us understand the cosmic conversation that we're about to have. So we should understand that as above, so below. We should understand that the spiritual relates to the physical, and sometimes we could make these connections. We have an abundance of research materials on this plane, and we have an abundance of research materials in our DNA. So peace to the family, peace to the tribe. You understand? In reference to just listening and understanding information, right? Say for instance, you're like at a school and you have a class and you go to the class for 2 minutes and they give you a test the next day, you're not going to pass that test, right? So you can't then go to whoever, the dean of the school, and say, I ain't like my professor. I ain't like my instructor. At a certain point, there's a lot of different avenues and a lot of different areas and a lot of different ways that people can take things and go about things and learn specific information. But at a certain point, you got to sit your ass down and really listen and understand the outside and the inside, because we have two ways of being. We have a normal energy and we have a triggered energy. So in the second video I showed you, I was showing you the limitations of a triggered mind, right? And as we go through this full moon phase, I want you to examine your personal triggers. And it's going to be hard for you to examine your personal triggers in the normal, regular conscious, especially if you have a job, you got a boyfriend, you got kids, your apartment is clean, you made your bed this morning, you arranged your pillows, you got on a nice outfit. You talking about we gonna have brunch on Saturday. Tonight we going out, right? It's hard for you to get into some shadow stuff because you are not triggered. And you set your life up in a way to which you avoid your triggers. So let's bring up we're on psychology today. And we're talking about how to manage your emotional triggers. We're dealing with the normal, regular basis of a cosmic conversation. Because when we start talking about the cosmos and the spiritual understanding, please understand that it's going to result right back to this particular space. And do not overlook your emotional triggers. Do not overlook your emotional triggers. Because when you overlook your emotional triggers, they'll be kicking you in your ass. And they always kick you in your ass. But then when they show up, you don't know how to respond. And so since you don't know how to respond, you just shut down. And if you avoid triggers, you might be enjoying your life, but in essence, you're shut down. So let us try to work through these full moon energies and these full moon times, understanding the hidden sides to our emotional and spiritual life. Key points. An emotional trigger is anything that sets you off emotionally. An emotional trigger is anything that sets you off emotionally. So those who are here, I want you to actually visualize and conceptualize the words that are being said. An emotional trigger is anything that sets you off emotionally. So understand you can feel good emotionally. You can feel bad emotionally. And it's anything. So think about the times or the places where you've lost your temper, You started crying uncontrollably. You lost control of your mind. You became a completely different person. You whooped somebody's ass and then was like, damn, I didn't even mean to whoop your ass that bad. You were triggered emotionally, and you would act in a way of your triggered self. Now, some of our triggered or shadow selves are more stronger than others, and you don't know how strong a person's shadow is by the forefront. You can get with somebody for a long time, get comfortable with them, and then get in tune with their shadow, and that shit fucks up your whole entire being at an emotional and mental level. Because a shadow is vicious, and a shadow can control a whole dynamic. It is like a predatory alpha animal. And the predatory alpha animals don't walk around the jungle killing all of the animals. A predatory alpha animal is just the animal that says you better not fuck with me. And a lot of us have better not fuck ones in the chat if you feel at an intrinsic, intuitive level that a person better not fuck with you. If you can understand this, then you can understand that that is an emotional trigger. And that part of you that people better not fuck with is not easily accessed. However, it can be easily accessed at particular points of times that you probably don't want it to access. And then we have to also look at just a general understanding, and how, like, I'm not talking about anything like that's not embedded in everybody's subconscious. We can just reference Teen Wolf, right? What is Teen Wolf? Let's read the plot of Teen Wolf. One's in the chat if a person better not fuck with you. Intrinsically, you know that. What is that? Let's read the plot of the Teen Wolf. I just want to talk to y'all and explain some things to y'all from beginning, middle to end, and not be on no TikTok shit, and not be on no shit where y'all are pressed for time and y'all got to get all of the information in 10.5 seconds, or you don't feel like you've learned anything. And my shit is like, you ain't even learned nothing anyways in 10.5 seconds. I'm looking for Teen Wolf with Michael J. Fox in it. Cause maybe I'm tripping. Maybe this is like a what you call that? Mandela effect. Alright, here we go. Scott Howard is a 17-year-old high school student. Is tired of just being average. Living in a small town in Nebraska, his only claim for popularity is playing for the Beavers, not the Beavers. His unsuccessful basketball team. Scott finds after Pamela Wells, blah, blah, blah. Scott finds after Pamela Wells, even though she is dating his rival Mick, who plays for the Dragons. So the Beavers versus the Dragons, huh? An opposing team that bullies him on the court. Completely oblivious to the affections of his best friend Booth, Scott constantly rebuffs her advances due to their history together. After their startling changes, such as long hair suddenly sprouting on his hands, he decides to quit the team, and his coach, Finstock, changes his mind. When he returns home, he undergoes a strange transformation, discovering he is a werewolf. His father, Harold, reveals he is 1-2, and that he had hoped Scott would not inherit the curse because sometimes it skips a generation. Let me just try to get to the point, because they're not even going to say anything in reference to the fucking full moon. Because that's when he turned into a fucking beast. Right? So let me just see if it's anywhere in the goddamn movie. And if not, then just take my word for it or watch the movie yourself. Because in the movie, like, even in, if y'all see this, And the backdrop of the goddamn picture for the movie is what? The full moon. I don't know if y'all can see that. I'm gonna see if I can zoom it in. But Google Teen Wolf, and you can see this moon turn him into a beast. Now, in general, we have this particular energy. In general, we have this particular thought of nobody better not fuck with me, but it heightens during the full moon. And this is what Teen Wolf is talking about. Right? It's not an interesting movie that came out in the 80s. It's real life. And depending on if your shadow is a dominant shadow or a submissive shadow, how do you know if your shadow is dominant or your shadow is submissive? You know if your shadow is dominant by your dreams. When you dream, are you running? Are you hiding? Are you not having dreams at all? That means your shadow is suppressed. That means the authentic expression of your life is being shut the fuck down by you. When you dream and you're a beautiful butterfly and you're a pimp, a fucking ballerina, a singer on the stage, your shadow or your soul is having its way. Now, if you look at your life and you're happy with it, cool. If you look at your life and you're like, what the fuck is happening to my life? Then what is happening is that your shadow is being stomped on because you are not doing shadow work. So everything that's important to you is happening during the day. But during the night is unimportant. So if you go to school during the day, you get a notebook, you get a pen, you get a book, you listen to the lecture to get a good grade. But you go to sleep, you go to night school. So guess what you need? A pen, a paper, a book, some meditation music or no music at all, some earplugs. Why? Because you need to understand who you are. And the moon, just because you're sleeping during the moon time, don't mean that you just evaporate into thin air. It might seem like that. But trust me, it translates into the daytime when you're lost in the sauce or you're in a toxic relationship. You might think you're dominant physically, mentally, logically. You can talk to your wife, you can talk to your husband, you can make all of the sense in the world. But if they dominate you at a shadow level and you do no shadow work, they're going to laugh at you and call you a fucking idiot and tell you shut the fuck up. And what you going to do? Be driving mad, complaining, disturbed, distraught, but not bossing up, not manning up, not womaning up, not understanding who you are at a spiritual level, not understanding your destiny and your purpose. You think that your God is going to allow somebody to walk into your existence and obstruct your journey. You just don't know your God. You're just out of touch with your God. So you can translate both experience, your dream world and your real world, as a sense of not being strong emotionally. Because to be strong emotionally is not to live a life where it's a trigger here, you run around it. It's a trigger there, you run around it. It's a trigger there, you run around it. Because if you keep doing it, what's happening to your shadow? It's growing nuts. It's getting on steroids. It got fucking muscles coming out its fucking shoulders. is like this. So your shadow is buff and your body is fat. Interesting how that works. Your emotional response may get triggered when you perceive that someone is taking something important from you. Your emotional response may get triggered when you perceive that someone is taking something important from you. And I want to be so clear about this because this will go out one ear and then the other a lot of times. So hopefully you got on your thinking caps. You got false ideas in your brain. When I say you, I'm talking about myself because we all do. If I tell you some information that goes against the false idea in your brain, you will be emotionally triggered. Not because I'm saying anything wrong, because I'm saying something right. And I don't want you to use me as an example. I want you to use everyone as an example. Whenever you are listening to somebody saying, man, somebody's ass stink, and you get mad, ready to fight, guess whose ass stink? When somebody say, man, do y'all smell fish in here? Do y'all not take baths? And it's a group of people, and you start getting mad, like, who the fuck you think you is? You the one who smell like fish. Because if you did not smell like fish and never smelled like fish, you would have no concept of what even the insult was. But since you might be insecure about how you smell, and somebody say, damn, something stink. How are you going to take accountability in that situation? You have no tools to take accountability for somebody telling the truth about some shit that you trying to hide. So the only defense that we have is to be triggered, emotionally triggered by shit that we don't want to deal with. And it's like, well, what did this have to do with the full moon? What do this have to do with the full moon? Nigga, if you don't understand this, it don't matter about the fucking full moon. Cause a nigga will know how to push your buttons. Like, it wouldn't matter about anything if somebody knew that you had buttons to push. If somebody knew that you had shit to hide and your life was based upon hiding the shit that you doing. Why is this important? Because imagine you being so free and open that all you want to do is pour love into the person that you with. That's why you can't feel that shit. Because you done said some truthful shit. And if I tell you some truthful shit in the realms of a relationship, it's only going to be viewed as somebody taking something away from you. Because you have a false idea that you can be selfish. You have a false idea that you can be unloving. You have a false idea that you can be disrespectful. You have a false idea that you can be, a bitch. Or, and it's for men or women. Bitch is not gender specific. Bitch is when you are afraid to accept and deal with your responsibilities, so you become triggered as a response system. You never know. It could be your supervisor to say, man, y'all motherfuckers is slacking at this job. And if you slacking at the job and you not ready to take accountability for you slacking, you have no other choice but to say, man, I hate that motherfucker. I hate that motherfucking supervisor. He ain't shit. I hope he get fired. One's in the chat, if a nigga corrected you on your shit and you felt negative about the person that was correcting you. Think about that. Think about why nobody even going to say shit to you no more. Because when somebody try to give you some advice, you be like, oh, I already know. Who is you? Who is you to be telling me about me? Like, if you don't consciously acknowledge the need triggering your emotional reaction, you may feel like a prisoner to your own emotions. You may feel like a prisoner of your own emotions, and imagine that shit. Imagine that shit. Some of y'all don't have to imagine it. Some of y'all just can feel it. I'm not going to read a lot. I'm going to get into this full moon. I just want to summarize and synchronize being triggered. And as you go through this full moon transit, utilize triggers as opportunities to transcend this human existence and tap in. Take your lack of a car. Take the fact that life is caving in on you. Take the fact that things is not working out for you in your favor and be triggered so you can understand and take advantage of the full moon energy. Because the reason why I'm saying dive into your triggers, because I know for a fact you base your whole life on avoiding your triggers. The people who trigger us to feel negative emotions are messengers. How many people is with me this evening? Let's put that in the chat. I'm going to put it in the chat first. The people who trigger us to feel negative emotions are messengers. See, the problem with spirituality and spiritual messengers is that you think that they're going to tell you, Charmaine, your pussy don't stink at all. Charmaine, you are a spiritual divine being who never did nothing wrong. It don't matter that you got crust on your toenail, Charmaine. It don't matter. You are perfect. And since they telling you that the sun only shine on you, they become a spiritual messenger. Now, if I told you, if Till Swan told you that the people who trigger us to feel negative emotions are messengers, are you going to get the motherfucking message? Because if you waiting for the feel good nigga to be in a positive relationship, boy, oh boy, you single. You single like a nigga never seen. Motherfuckers would be like, what you waiting on? You start telling them what you waiting on. They'll be looking at you like goddamn Girl and Friday. Okay. Let me show y'all what I'm talking about. Okay. Okay. We gonna hang out later?
So before I continue the conversation, I want to say,
see, I'm just waiting for the right man. I'm just waiting for the right man. They be like, okay.
Oh, look at her. Now she gonna be ashamed of herself coming out looking like that. Hey, girl.
Hey, how you doing?
Fine. I'm on my way to work.
Call me when you get home.
Okay.
I'ma find my dream man one day. I'ma find him and he gonna look just like goddamn Morris Chestnut and be a thug like O-Dog. You be like,
Okay.
I'ma find my man. He gonna be 6'6" with a 6-pack and 6 figures.
Okay.
He gonna lift weights and save homeless babies.
Okay.
He gonna be spiritual, he gonna be Christian, he gonna be Muslim, and he gonna be a part of the Bloods.
Okay.
Whatever you say, sis, whatever you say. The people who trigger us to feel negative emotions are messengers, and here we go. All these men is dusty. Like, all these men, they have problems, they have issues. And see, no, I want a man that's going to be perfect.
Okay.
And then, right, you get Mr. Perfect. You get Mrs. Perfect. Mrs. Perfect, right? get you on some real comfortable shit, right? You start giving her your pin codes. Babe, what's the pin? Oh, it's goddamn 911. But like, damn, that's what we need to call, right? You get comfortable as hell with her. 6 months in.
Gotcha.
But you got my pin codes and everything. Like, you got the keys to my house.
Gotcha. Gotcha.
And it's just like, bruh, you didn't know? You didn't know that this is how people are when they get deep into the emotional depths of their psyche? A motherfucker will flip on you. No, but she checked all the boxes. She was 6'6" and had a 6 figures and did everything I wanted. And then I found out she liked it, my goddamn whole family and brother. Like, she wanted to fuck my brother.
Gotcha.
So you telling me your husband wanted to fuck your brother, and at first y'all walked down the aisle and got married, and ring bearers and ushers and RSVPs and dinner receptions and things of that nature, and still found out to be bisexual?
Gotcha.
It's a dirty, dirty game. So if you think like a person don't have a dark side, or you think like you don't have a dark side, you live a life where you avoid your triggers. And every time you deal with a trigger, you have a different solution, or you have an emotional reaction that people will be like, all right, then, well, fuck it. I ain't gonna say shit else to you about it. But yet and still y'all be like, I want to have something spiritual. I want to have a spiritual conversation. I want to have a spiritual experience. But don't want to deal with the negative emotions. You want positive emotions. You want a nigga to lick you in your booty hole with ice cream, caramel, and vanilla, right? While you do your nails, watching goddamn The Real Housewives of Atlanta in a fucking loft, in a fucking mansion, and like just like on a vacation, like just chasing. And it's cool to have nice things, but what's the negative emotions about? To actually experience all the shit that you truly want to experience. Because all it is, before it's like, I wanted, I wish I had. And to me, these is negative emotions. When I see people like, oh man, I wish I had this, I wish I had that. I can already understand the negative emotions attached to, I wish I had, I want. Because the things that you wish you had and you want, people are already experiencing because they're willing to put in the work to get it. And they're not going to be looking for Shira, the seventh goddess, on how to do a dark magic ritual to attract things at a high level and shit like that. They're just going to put their nose to the fucking cement and figure it out. Life is going to teach you that sooner or later. They are messengers for our unhealed parts of our being. And this is very important as we deal with the full moon in Pisces. Because I promise you, everybody want to just avoid every single thing. And then just like, well, let's just get to the positivity. Let's just experience. Let's just change it up. No, let's address every fucking thing. When you love somebody and you really care about somebody, it's something that must happen. You have to have a whole experience, a whole time with them where you are around them all the time and you're not having sex. You have to experience it. Because the positive emotion that is sex turns into a negative emotion called goddamn prostitution. And being used and being devalued. Because that's what's happening when we're having sex. So during this time, full moon in Pisces, to avoid your triggers, I know you love him. I know you love her. Stop having sex. Go through this. It's not my personal opinion. Sex is going to fuck up the energy transmission. Sex is going to fuck up the energy transmission. It's above and beyond lower degrees of sexual connection and lust. Like the channel is not down there. The channel is up here. But we need to learn how to be together and in love with each other, right? In love, no boundaries, but understanding what disrupts the connection or what causes your girlfriend to be triggered. Your girlfriend is going to find a reason to be triggered. Whether that's the reason she's triggered or not is not the reason that she's triggered. The reason that she's triggered is because her electromagnetic frequency is being disrupted by your horniness, by your unhealed parts. Whenever you have sex, you're not having sex with the healed part of yourself. You're having sex with the unhealed part of yourself. Trust and believe that. Understand the unhealed part of yourself wants to fuck in a hotel room, wants to invite a nigga over, wants to go on a trip, a girl's trip, go to Jamaica. The unhealed part of yourself done fuck some niggas and your husband don't know. The healed part of yourself fucked a nigga in secret. The healed part of you did that? Make it make sense. The healed part of you fucking was on Instagram and social media, swiping left and swiping right. This was the healed aspect of yourself? But then we want to bring all of the spirituality and just be like, oh yes, spirit and Anunnaki, and yeah, I need to take a course and I need to meditate. Oh, I need to buy me some crystals. I need to this, and it's like, okay, cool, do all of that shit. But man, I've been in this thing for a long time. I've been to a lot of festivals, and I tell you, it always gets to the point of the emotional trauma triggering aspect of a human being. And then when a person is triggered, they're not like, oh shit, let me get my shungite and balance my emotions. Oh shit, I got a fucking amethyst. And fucking activate from the amethyst. Fuck no, it don't work like that. All of that shit is shit that you do to waste your fucking time. To make yourself feel good, to say it's a trigger right here, but let me walk around it and buy a crystal. I'm walking in the park with a crystal up my ass. I feel great. Like, no, it don't fucking work like that. Fool yourself if you think you are unhealed and you are utilizing spirituality to heal yourself. But spirituality is not going to conjure the negative emotions. You have to actually look at your life and see what you want to do. And what you want to do, take it away from you. Okay? That's going to bring a negative emotion instantly. I want to fuck. Don't fuck. Now I'm able to do shadow work. I want to smoke some weed. Don't smoke no weed. Now I'm able to do shadow work. I want to do this. I want to do that. Now I'm able to do shadow work because the negative emotions are messengers. And let's get a definition of emotional triggers so we can move forward with our conversation. An emotional trigger is anything that sets you off emotionally. It's usually personal to you and often stems from past experiences. So if this is a prerequisite to spiritual understanding, trust and believe this is why you can't understand shit and you paying your way through spirituality. You paying your way through life. You trying to understand shit through other people. But understand that an emotional trigger is usually personal to you and often stems from past experiences. Mean, I don't know what your mama did. I don't know what your daddy did. I don't know what happened on the 3rd of September, the day that you'll always remember. I don't know that your fucking daddy died. I didn't know that. I'm talking about chakras. And you like, it's the 3rd of September. The day I always remember. That was the day that my daddy died. Can we talk about that during the live? Like, if fuck no, we ain't talking about that during the live. You need to take care of that in your own personal time. Papa was a road. Come on, man. I don't give a shit. My dad and I was raised. Goddamn, that's why we take care of our kids now. Because our dads wasn't shit. I understand, bro. You don't gotta fucking ruin the lecture telling me about your damn papa was a Rolling Stone. Mama, I'm depending on you to tell me the truth.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
Alright. A person can experience being triggered by reverting to unresolved, unaddressed feelings and behaviors. When you are triggered, you are who you actually are, a baby. Emotionally, I know, you're so smart. So many degrees, so much money, so many cars, you make so much good decisions. But you're a fucking baby. Cause I want to have a real ass conversation about some real ass shit that you've done. But you ain't trying to have it. You trying to say, oh, I got 6'6". I got a 6-pack. I got 6 figures. Hell no, I ain't gay. I ain't bisexual.
Gotcha.
A person can experience being triggered by reverting to unresolved, unaddressed feelings and behaviors while in a traumatizing situation. A traumatizing situation is relative. You just never know what's going to trigger you, what's going to traumatize you, or when you are actually traumatized. And I guarantee you, the point in time that you are the most traumatized and the most fucked up, you are an infant. Why? Because when you are an infant, you had the same fucking consciousness that you have now. But you couldn't do shit. Imagine you being in this fucking vessel that you have right now. You're able to smack a bitch right now, whenever you want to. Just smack a bitch whenever, right? You can do whatever. You can just pull your dick out. You can just take a piss. You can go up and down the steps. You can fucking open the door, shut the door, get in your car, drive to the river. Fucking, you know what I'm saying? Go fishing. You wanted to do all that shit when you was 1 year old. You like, damn, I can't wait to go fishing, nigga. I'm back, bitch. I told you, nigga, I'm coming back. And what happened? Your mama ain't give a shit about you. You sitting there, got one of them fucking bald spots in the back of your shit. Mama ain't never pick you up. You just laying there crying. Ah, ah, ah. And you got your same consciousness you got now. Every day you wake up, you go to sleep like, man, I want to fuck a bitch right now. Like, you can't do shit. Eventually, that point in your consciousness becomes who you, that screaming baby. Not crying because they hurt. Crying because I cannot believe this shit. Like, imagine being in jail. The worst kind of jail. This is what you got to get over. Having an ain't shit daddy, shit, ain't nothing. Having a boyfriend tell you, oh, your pussy stink a little bit. This shit, that ain't nothing, bro. Your mama ain't pick you up when you wanted to get picked up. Matter of fact, you ain't even want to drink Similac. That shit tasted like ass. And the first time you taste it, you like, this shit disgusting. And then you got, so she giving it to you 4 times a day. Shit, you just like, fuck this shit. I hate this shit. I hate life. I hate existence. And then you grow up and you kind of forget you went through all of that shit. And then whenever you triggered into some shit, this is the person that comes to life. This is the person, this is the unhealed aspect that always needs something, that always is seeking something, that's always that's just like a ravenous beast. And you like goddamn wearing some leggings, fucking 5'3", looking good as hell. Fucking animal. Why? Because you don't do no psychological work. You don't do no shadow work. And everything is like, I look good. I look good. Oh, my mama. You know what I'm saying? Touch my swag. Wish you. All that type of shit. And it's just like, okay. So let's look at the Virgo. One of the most interesting particular constellations in the sky. Right? It's the largest constellation in the sky along our ecliptic, period, point blank. And then you have Pisces representing the gateway to a new beginning. So with Pisces is the point in time in the chart where you have to let shit go. Right? And then our bodies will be in alignment with that letting go process. Right? So you during this time you're gonna piss a lot more. When you in tune and you're not pregnant, you're a divine feminine, 10 times out of 10, maybe 8 times out of 10, you having your menstrual cycle during this particular time. Just being in alignment with the universe. Certain things people should be grateful for, right? Versus mad that Tyrone ain't called you back after you gave him your number and it was the first time you ever shot your shot before. He gonna call you back. Niggas always is a sucker for a bitch that's gonna shoot their shot. So, hey, shoot your shot more often. Don't even worry. If Tyrone don't call you back, Jermaine definitely will. He definitely gonna call your ass back. Any nigga with Jermaine, you say, hey, what's up, boy? He gonna be, what's your number? I'm gonna call you. Jermaine, niggas that's named Jermaine thirsty as hell. That's just a fact. That's a scientific fact. Don't even quote me. Google it. Anyways. What does Virgo represent? Well, Virgo is an interesting dynamic and an interesting story because Virgo is dealing with the energy of Persephone. And Persephone is that type of girl. Persephone is the daughter that you never wish you had, right? It's the most beautiful, wonderful girl, right? She's a princess, right? And she like, daddy, one day, she like, you know what? I think I want to get married. And you like, oh, I'm so happy, baby. Who is he? You know what I'm saying? What's his name? And he's like, his name Hades. He the prince of darkness and death. You're like, what the fuck? What you mean? Like, that darkness and death? Like, yeah. Actually, he outside. I'm about to leave with him right now. I'm gonna be gone for 6 months. And yeah, I'll see you later, Dad. Love you. You like, damn. What the fuck? And for me, it's like, well, you could think like your daughter is going to be like this princess angel because it's your daughter, and then find out she in love with a thug, and you like, damn, not my daughter. But shit, every girl in love with a thug, just because you had a daughter, don't mean like she not going to be like everybody else. And I'm just using that as an analogy to understand the Persephone mythology or the Virgo mythology. Like, this is the time where things go dark, and not dark is like bad, but we go underground. We go into the winter aspect of life. And then Persephone comes back up in the spring like, I'm back, Dad. I'm better than ever. So you will be like, damn, I want my daughter to be one way. I want my life to be one way. But your daughter is going to tell you, no, Dad, I'm actually this way. And I know you don't think about like me being a grown-ass woman making my own choices, but guess what? I'm a grown-ass woman and I'm going to make my own choices, right? So, like, it's like ego versus what life represents. And so, if you can understand the separation of energies that the sun going into Virgo represents, This is the mark of fall. This is the time of the year where we gotta get our motherfucking money together. Well, money together because we in 2023, but what would this be if it was fucking 1269? We would be collecting our grain and fucking storing our potatoes and like braving ourselves for the fucking winter, right? Like really being strategic, like really getting serious about your fucking finances. Virgo is analytical, right? Virgo is very pragmatic, very like getting straight. Like, and then Pisces on the other hand is very emotional. And it could really fuck up your shit. Like, this shit does not work together. This shit does not work well, bro. This shit is like oil and water, right? Deep emotions and getting your fucking money together, that shit do not work well. So these times and these energies is very confusing. Because you want to feel a certain type of way about what you don't have, but then you feel like, damn, I'm responsible for what I don't have. And then when the sun goes into Libra, it's like you have to be so fucking accountable for your shit. So right now, today, this is a warning. This is a warning. And you cannot bring emotional baggage into this energy. You have to channel divine shit. You can't say, well, I got this going on though, I got that going on, so I can't really be in the moon Pisces energy of healing and in alignment with source. Like, I really gotta handle this emotional shit. And it's like, I pray in your relationships, I pray in your homes, I pray that in your life that you niggas is working together. I pray nobody is on any bullshit in your life. I pray that if anybody is in your life on bullshit, you strong enough to get rid of them. Because it ain't no time for, well, I feel like this and I haven't, all that shit. And the sun is in Virgo and we have a full moon. And as we talk about these particular energies and times, I would pray that you would be connecting with your ancestors versus connecting with your own personal life. Because that's the times and the energies. It's ancestral fortnight. This full moon is a time for us to do rituals. One's in the chat if you've been feeling a call to do spiritual things. And maybe you did it, right? Or maybe you didn't. Because you're too busy. You got a lot of shit going on. You got people in your life that's make sure that you too busy to do shit. And then when it's like, okay, I need to like burn some herbs or burn some sage, you get too lazy or tired or some shit like that. You've been working so much during the sun that the moon is like, damn, I'm too tired. But fuck that, right? Fuck that energy. Understand that tonight you have to tune in to your ancestors, to your DNA, to your spirit, and understand the reason that you don't want to, or the reason that you absolutely understand what the fuck I'm talking about, is because you are emotionally triggered. And then you can't say, oh, I'm triggered. Oh, I gotta run away from my triggers, because we're here. We're providing a safe space for you to say that my triggers are my teachers and nothing else. Because if I fucking pat you on your fucking ass and say, what a great job you're doing, guess what? You're going to continue to fuck up your life. If I say, no, that's not how it go. Don't do that stupid shit. And I know you're going to take it one ear out the other. I'm going to still tell you. Because maybe I'm going to trigger you into doing some shit. Your parents, they're trying to trigger you. Your fucking friends, they're trying to trigger you. They're trying to make you see like, nah, that ain't the way to go. But what you do? Man, fuck these motherfuckers. Everybody against me. One's in the chat. Everybody against me. I gotta do this shit by my own. And they be telling you, oh, motherfucker, you gotta get your shit together. You slipping, you tripping, you doing this fucked up, you doing it. What do you think? What do you think? You think like you got a special gateway pass that you don't have to put your fucking iron in the fucking fire? Like, we putting our irons in the fucking fire. That's your iron? Yeah, that's my iron. That's your iron? Yeah, that's your iron. Yeah, we all got our irons in this bitch. We all gotta heat this shit up. We gotta do work. Well, I feel like I shouldn't have to put my iron in the fire because my daddy wasn't shit when I was a little kid. Do you remember when my daddy said that I wasn't shit and I wasn't going to be shit? Why do I got to put my iron in the fire? Because, bitch, we all got our irons in the fucking fire. We all letting go. We all not assuming that we know what the fuck is happening. We can't say shit no more. Can't tell nigga about Forex, Bitcoin, real estate. You can't say shit. All you can say is, man, I understand what you're going through. Maybe you should let that shit go. Maybe you should let it go. Because we all obviously been avoiding our triggers for the past 50 years. Thinking the American dream was the way. Motherfuckers said the American dream was the way. Now they paying $2,000 a month for rent and they making $1,500 a month from their job. Meaning that they gotta sell pussy to pay their whole fucking rent. Got a whole fucking sugar daddy to supplement their income. Talking about, I'm living the American dream. I got a nice house. And you fucking an old ass nigga. You fucking a disgusting, creepy ass nigga just for the look, the touch, the fabric of our lives. Niggas acting like they got it and really don't got it. If I say that I got it and I really don't got it, but I don't got it, why can't I just say I don't got it when that's the energy of a full moon in Pisces? Oh, niggas want to be outside of energy and want to be the king of clout. It's okay to not have shit to be free of emotional baggage. Especially if it's in alignment with the energy. So if I'm going to bring this up so we can have a succinct conversation. We on TamikoFisher.com and we go down to Friday, September 29th. The full moon takes place in Sidereal Pisces in the Uttara Bhadrapada Nakshatra. It's okay to let shit go. It's okay to let shit go. It's okay to be free from emotional baggage. Nobody is going to come save you because you feel a certain type of way. Uttara Bhadrapada can be split as Uttara and Bhadrapada. Uttara means later, Bhadrapada means gentle leg. So Uttara Bhadrapada means after the baby is born. And after the baby is born, he is pissed the fuck off. He want a fucking Corona. He want a blunt. He want a threesome. Bitch giving him some Similac. He like, wait a second. He's not latching on. He want a fucking drink. He wants some gin. He wants some Hennessy. He was just here 2 weeks ago. Fucking a bitch. Now your little baby talking about here goes some Similac. He mad. This was all of our experience. Believe it or not, we are reincarnated beings, first off and foremost. Our cells just didn't spawn into creation. Our cells are millions of years old. We are made up of cells. When we transition, so do our cells. Even deeper, our cells transition all the time and reincarnate all the time. And we are cells, meaning we die every day and we come back to life. You ain't know you was Jesus? Hallelujah. Hallelujah. Mama Jaya. Thank you, Jesus. He is reborn. He is risen. Oh, Lord. Thank you, Jesus. It suggests being on the bed for the birth of the baby. The deity, Ahir Buddhayana. Ahir Buddhayana is the deity of Uttara Bhadrapada. Now, Uttara Bhadrapada is the nakshatra or the lunar mansion of this particular full moon. Because I don't like playing with this shit. Y'all like playing with this shit, talking about a whole bunch of random shit that Niggas is saying that the full moon is in Aries, and there is no actual astronomical representation of that aspect. And then y'all want to start shit and build shit, but y'all don't even want to deal with y'all triggers. So you going to build a castle. You going to build an ivory tower that's going to protect you from your triggers. And if you build a fortress, guess where those triggers are at? Within you. So it'll just be you and your fortress and your fucking triggers. Think about that. This full moon takes place in Sidereal Pisces in the Uttara Bhadrapada Nakshatra. The deity of that nakshatra is Ahir Buddhayana. Okay. Ahir Buddhayana means the serpent at the base or belonging to the depth. Once again, we're not talking about a snake in the sky, in the depths of the fucking sky, because what the fuck would that have to do with you and me? It wouldn't have shit to do with the external world. Don't got shit to do with the conversation that I'm having with y'all this fucking afternoon. What I'm talking about is the Kundalini energy at the base and the depths of your being. And the Kundalini energy have nothing to do with the facts that you is attracted to a nigga or a nigga is attracted to you. You went to college, you got a baby, you don't have a baby, or whatever the case may be. You don't like it or you like it. We're talking about a lizard version of you that's fucking crawling around the fucking surface of the earth like a serpent. A serpent is not going to talk. A serpent is not going to feel. A serpent is not going to process. A serpent is going to respond. And that is the shit that you need. You be thinking all day, not doing shit. You be feeling all day, not doing shit. You be loving all day. You love your nigga and y'all have never done shit. Why don't you take me out? He can't afford it. Duh. He don't have the money. What y'all need to do is it's not his problem that he can't take you out. It's both of y'all problems that y'all can't release the material world to actually understand the magnetic polarity of the reason why y'all are even together. And is to be the best version of that polarity. And you should inspire and work towards that. You shouldn't be like, well, we together, I'm bored, let's fuck. Because that is your unhealed self. That is going to create the trigger and the trauma that once y'all get tired of fucking each other, then it's a whole bunch of reasons as to why y'all can't be together no more. And once y'all are completely over the relationship, y'all going to latch on to another motherfucker and go through the same cycle. Because we are equating relationships to sexual interactions, and that is our unhealed version of ourselves. Because we can look at our grandmother and our grandfather and say, well, grandma and grandpa, how y'all get this house? Well, we've been fucking every single day nonstop. That's how we manifested this house. We just been fucking. No, they got their shit together. They went to a fucking class. They said, oh, well, you need to get your credit, interest rate. And they figured that shit out together. As one unit. We can't get there because we ain't doing nothing but eating and fucking. I want to go out to eat. You want to eat something today? Let's eat. Eat, then get horny. When we talk about this particular energy, the serpent at the base belonging to the depth, it goes out and beyond that understanding of the general experience of life and goes deeper into the cosmic reality of life. Let's read some more about Ahir Buddhayana, the deity of this particular new moon, according to Vedic astrology. Some shit that's been existed way before me and you ever decided, we was going to give a girl our number or some weird shit like that. Hey man, you think she going to give me your number? Talking about, man, I don't even get into astrology. But you think she like me though? You think I got a chance with her? You think You think if I holler at her, you think she'll fuck with me though? I don't really get into that astrology shit though. I just be out here trying to fuck these bitches. I hear Buddhayana, the mystical serpent of the depth, represents our subconsciousness and its hidden power to bind or to liberate. Ahir Buddhayana, the mystical serpent of the depth, represents our subconsciousness and its hidden power to bind or to liberate. You will find yourself in a position where you need to bind or you need to liberate. You need to free yourself from a position or you need to attach yourself to a position. One could say they're one and the same. Ahir Buddhayana, the one who carries the burden of this world, is none else than Anatta Shisha himself, the cosmic serpent on whom Lord Vishnu is reclining in his yogic sleep. He is none different than Lord Vishnu presiding over the deep sleep state of consciousness. Officious, I'm not upset. I'm just talking how I normally fucking talk. Motherfuckers will see me talking like this in the car. I talk to my kids like this. I'm just how I talk. I'm just talking. It's so funny. It's so funny. I be so like in a state of bliss and joy because the information and the understanding is so beautiful to me that people perceive it as something else. But let's talk about this. You might be new to the chat. I need to revitalize and re-energize and remind niggas that negative emotions are messengers, not positive emotions. Many people get on YouTube, many people get on Instagram and the internet to seek positive emotions. This is why you never get no fucking downloads, right? You ain't ready to peel back no fucking layers. Okay? Shout out to those who can deal with the negative emotions and find meaning. Okay? So let's talk about Ahir Buddhayana. According to Swami Vivekananda, as we start out our life, the Kundalini is in the Supta state. What is the Supta state? Whenever I find information that I don't know, I look it up. I don't know what the hell the Supta state is, but I feel like it's important to understand to continue in understanding what is being said to me. The Supta state, meaning maybe the author is making this shit up. Who knows? Because I haven't found anything. Supta state, Sanskrit. Let's see. Nothing's coming up. All right, we found something. The word is derived from Sanskrit word supta, meaning lying down. Okay, that makes sense. So let's go back to our readings. Nah, this is not to entertain. Spirituality should not be entertained and not should make you feel good. You should be learning some information that you didn't know previously to apply into your waking life. The Ashleisha, hold on, let me start over. According to Sri Swami Vivekananda, as we start our life, the Kundalini is lying down. It's in a sleeping state. And it starts rising as we progress in life. Everybody has limited ability to raise Kundalini. The Ashleisha is an indication of Kundalini in Supta or rested state. The Uttara Bhadrapada, which is this nakshatra, is an indication of Kundalini energy in a highly raised state. This is why you cannot be triggered. This is why you should explore your triggers, because if you would just get past that bullshit, you can tap into your Kundalini energy, because it's not fucking easy. You can't buy it. You can't meditate. You can't wish for it. You can't walk in the park long enough. It's like, how can I get my arm to be an arm? It's already an arm. You just got to work it out, or you just got to, I don't know, it's just an arm. The Kundalini is the same thing. You can't work it out at the gym. It's no specific posture. It is what it is. You can't, this is why everything results to a scam, because you have to do the inner work. Because what you might think is an opportunity outside of yourself that you might be looking for and waiting for, what you'll forget is that you have the energy within yourself to be the greatest version of yourself today. So say, for instance, you want something. You say, I want this so bad. I'm going to focus on this thing, right, with my energy. And you may or may not get it. But I promise you, if you focus on yourself to be the best version of yourself, you'll manifest enough and beyond to whereas what you want, you can easily attain it. Because you are the person that can do the thing. Wanting a thing is not a skill. Desiring a thing is not a skill. The skill is becoming the person that's able to get it. And this is what your Kundalini, the spiritual idea and conception of who you are, your talent, skills, and abilities, and showing that shit in a consistent manner to get some fucking rep, because people know that, oh, this motherfucker is nothing to be played with. This motherfucker is cold. This motherfucking song is dope. This motherfucker can do a reading. This motherfucker can do a massage. This motherfucker is amazing. This motherfucker can draw you and make it look like it's in fucking HD. This motherfucker is artistic. This motherfucker is creative. This motherfucker is amazing. If you could be that person, then what you want will be easy. But if you the person that's hiding, oh, I don't even know if people are gonna like this. All this type of shit. All this type of shit. And then it's like, I really want this and I really want that, but I just don't feel like I'm ready to, and people, all these emotions. Cancel Christmas. So take advantage of this energy tonight throughout the week to do spiritual shit. Because the veil is open. Once again, Kyrie, you making shit up. You talking a whole bunch of shit that you don't know nothing about. Okay. Let's ask Tamiko Fisher then. Because it's good whenever we do research, we get peer-reviewed studies. We have research and references and sources. We not just pulling shit out our ass because it might be cool to do because it's YouTube and it's entertaining. But if you tell a motherfucker, all right, pull this out your ass cheek, it ain't going to work for them. Girl, you fucking 25 with a fat old ass. You like, just walk down the street and people will give you money. When I walk down the street, people throw cans and tomatoes at me. It's different for you. People like, ew, what is this? It's different for you because you who you are. So when we talk about spiritual information and energy, it's good to do research. It's good to read books. It's good to get sources and then double check your sources. Because some people can write books that ain't shit. Double down, triple down. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to show you 2 sources in reference for the energy of the night. So you don't take my motherfucking word for it. I ain't upset. Do I sound upset, y'all? Do y'all get upset from me? I'm just excited. I'm fucking happy, nigga. What the fuck? This my happy face, nigga. What the hell? Today's full moon phase marks the start of the yearly otherworldly ancestral fortnight of Pitru Paksha. This is a special time within each year when the boundaries between the human and the spirit worlds are especially fluid. No, but my daddy wasn't shit. It was the 3rd of September. It's the day that I always remember. That was the day that my daddy died. Okay, did you do any offerings to him? What's that? Did you do any rituals for him? What's that? Did you do any spells, incantations for his energy to make sure that he had peace? What is his favorite music? Did you listen to his favorite music? What's that? What's that?
Okay.
Dog. Let's read, man. Y'all niggas done got me happy today. As per Hindu traditions, the South Celestial Sphere is consecrated to the ancestors. God damn it. Here we is just living our lives, going to work, and didn't even know that the fucking South Celestial Sphere is consecrated for the ancestors as per Hindu traditions. God damn it. Hence, the moment when the sun transits from the north to the south celestial sphere is considered to begin a day of the ancestors. Greeks talk about this with Persephone and Hades. Christians talk about this with Mary Magdalene. This is just basic. Oya. This is where Oya leaves Shango and then spends 6 months with Ogun. Right? This is where she get her healing. This is where she get her teaching from. It's like you had the whole summer to wear fucking sundresses and leggings and fucking y'all motherfuckers wearing rompers and shit, bro. Come on now. Y'all really gotta chill. What y'all gonna wear next year? Like, y'all really leaving nothing up to the imagination at this point. Like, y'all might as well just come out the house butt booty naked. Like, what the hell is the difference? Y'all wearing rompers. Anyways, right? Y'all had the whole summer to enjoy and to travel and da-da-da-da. Now, you spend these next 6 months giving it up to the ancestors. Doing the spiritual work. This is the time. This is the energy. Well, when should I do a ritual? That's like saying, when should I breathe? When should I breathe? When is a good time to breathe, hood? When is a good time to breathe? I think you should breathe, I say, once a week. God gonna be like,
Gotcha.
Angel's gonna be like,
Gotcha.
for some of y'all, the devil gonna be like,
Gotcha.
you breathe every day, all the time. You do rituals, you do spiritual things every day, all the time. So yeah, man. Let's get into this. Let's finish. This moment is considered sacred, necessitating the performance of special religious rites. Okay. But I and my boyfriend, he just cheated on me with my brother. Oh my God. I didn't never want to deal with a man that's bisexual, even though I eat my girlfriend's pussy all the time. I'm bisexual. Why did I have to attract a bisexual man? Oh, I don't want to do a ritual. My boyfriend's gay. I don't want to do a ritual. My daddy left me on the 3rd of September. The day I will always remember. It was the day my daddy died. Mama, I'm depending on you to tell me the truth. She hung her head and said, It's a reason that you need to get over it. There's a reason that you need to separate from your emotional baggage. It's a reason that you need to be pure and understand the spiritual understanding of life. Because you'll miss out on opportunities. And you'll be like, well, what's supposed to happen on the full moon? What's supposed to happen? You, nigga. What rituals you do? What work you do? What ancestors you connect to? What herbs you burn? None? Okay. That's what's supposed to happen. This moment is considered sacred, necessitating the performance of special religious rites. Okay? So I showed y'all 2 different sources, and of course you can find more sources to get you into the understanding of what this full moon represents in the times moving forward. Don't be out of alignment with this shit. Don't play with this shit, because you will be having the triggers, you will be having the emotions, and you will be thinking something is wrong with you. It's niggas who stopped talking to me for months and for years because they had negative emotions, right? But when it was a positive emotions, it's Hood, you my nigga. Hood, I love you, man. Hood, you my dog. Hood, we need to do this. Hood, we need to do that. Soon as you start fucking somebody and they trigger you into a way, you just disappear and dissolve off the face of the earth. Y'all do that shit all the time. I know when y'all got fucking boyfriends. The DM stop coming. Oh, she fucking again. She'll text back when the nigga hurt her feelings again. Hey, Hood, how you doing? How you doing, Hood? You know, just chilling. You got any space open for a reading? Just want a little reading. Want to talk to you about some stuff, you know. How you doing? I just want a reading. Are we like?
Okay.
Oh man, y'all crazy. So yeah, let's bring up the energy map. So I want us to really understand the 12th house and the 6th house dynamic. The 6th house is the house of the sun. It's the house of service, right? It's the house of analytics to say, if this nigga is hurt, give him an IV, give him a patch, give him a Band-Aid, right? And the 12th house is the house of mysticism. It's the house of healing. It's the house of connecting to spirits. And so when you put these 2 energies together, it don't make sense, because at one level you have to pay the bills on the first or you're going to get kicked out. At another level, you are the god of creation that created the nigga that you paying bills to. You like, what the fuck? How am I the creator of all existence and I'm giving my creation rent money? That don't even make sense. But it is a reality that you have to begin to wrap your mind around, because your ass is not about to go live on a farm or in the woods somewhere. So you have to deal with the reality of here and the reality of there. So what do you do with this oil and water type situation? Well, it's a particular narrow path for some of us. Those who have ears have ears. Those who can see will see. It is called ritual, nigga. It's called going through the portal. The full moon is a portal. It's a literal portal that allows our ancestors to provide assistance to us. And one's in the chat if you need some form of assistance. Don't be afraid. Don't be so egoic and prideful and afraid to be embarrassed if you need some fucking spiritual assistance. We are triggered because we need help. We need our mom to pick us up and hold us and kiss us and say, baby, it's going to be okay. We need assistance, and it's good to be that for people in our lives, but the people who are not like that in our lives will trigger us. The people who will not console us will trigger us. The people who who are to disrupt and distract us, we're going to be triggered. But understand that triggering is a message that you need to make a decision. Not keep avoiding the fucking trigger. And when you address the trigger, you'll be fine. But your fear of addressing the trigger is what keeps you away from the trigger. So let's just deal with these particular energies. And then we'll get off this actual platform called YouTube. I'm going to move one to one side and one to another side so we can understand these particular concepts, have a clear and succinct exit, and have a great full moon night, because it's time for me to burn some herbs and get into my ritualistic bag. So this particular deacon of the sun is the 9 of disc, or the 9 of pentacles, or the 9 of coins. In the erotic tarot Milo Manara deck, it is a woman who is 8 feet tall. And this image is abstract until you get his oracle deck, where he specifically tells you this particular energy represents the higher self. So you don't understand it until you understand it, right? You might look at it and say, this is a tall girl in a city, and not miss the point. But this is the image of your higher self. And the opposite energy is your higher self taking a piss. So we can look at these particular energies and figure out the opposition to them. They're the same energy, but on opposing sides of the spectrum. So on the 9 of this, the higher self is you in the aspect where you don't even know. She's looking for something. She's trying to find something, and she's already her. Baby, I'm her. Sing that shit all day and then be like, man, ain't nobody gonna like me. I ain't gonna be shit. Ooh, play that Meg. Baby, I'm her. Have the lowest self-esteem. Y'all make it make sense. That's the 9 of earth. This is the 9 of cups. Now, what is the cups? The cups is the yoni. The cups is the emotional portal to the spiritual world. That ever since you was 12, a nigga been trying to see what's up with it. Hey, big head. Nothing. Just see how you doing. You know, I just been, imagine a nigga telling you his whole life story. Acting like y'all having a conversation. Oh, we talked all night, girl. I love this man. This man, he understands me. That nigga talked to you all night so he can get some ass. He was doing all that for some ass. And if you don't understand that, you might not understand your power. You might not understand the 9 of cups energy. So I can say it or I can read it. Exhibition them inside, she seems content to launch content. Since this is a cup card in traditional tarot, the cup represents the yoni. This young woman's exposure shows the true cup. Also, since water is symbolic for emotion, no greater pleasure is known than to let go of all the pent up emotion one has. It doesn't say no greater pleasure is a 12-inch BBC. Some girls is like, I don't know about that, Kyrie. You said pleasure ain't what?
Okay.
No greater pleasure is known than to let go of all the pent up emotion one has. Not a BBC, ladies.
Okay.
Not a girl with a BBL, fellas.
Okay.
Not a threesome with 2 big bitches.
Okay.
No, the greatest pleasure known is to let go of the pent up emotion one has. Y'all, what you waiting on? Sign up today, motherfucker. Let it all out. Cause I know it's hard, and I know it's a lot of information to grasp. And the reason why it's hard and a lot of information to grasp, because you ain't supposed to grasp it. You ain't supposed to understand it. You supposed to understand your motherfucking self, and you can't understand yourself by holding on to all of the shit that's not pertaining to yourself. Because how do you get to yourself? Through your womb, through your yoni, through your intuition, through your meditation. You're not gonna be able to do that if a nigga is up in your pussy every other day, or every day, every night. So the moments and times within your relationships where y'all take breaks from fucking, I guarantee you breakthroughs is happening. Take 30 days of not having sex. No masturbation. But be in a loving, committed relationship. And then you will understand this energy. But if you are in your lower self, you just have to have sex. You just have to eat. You just have to do all of this shit because your emotions will have you eating. Your emotions will have you fucking. You wouldn't necessarily let it go. So you would be outside of the spectrum of well-being. So understanding this particular energy, be careful what you wish for. You shouldn't wish for anything with particular energies more than you should have the giving energy of the sixth house, the service energy of the sixth house. But service to who? Not service to the ego, service to the ancestors, service to the spirits by doing what? Rituals, spells, seances, by utilizing the thinning veil. This is how they get niggas. The veil opens. Now, they gonna tell you that the veil opens Halloween. Everybody gonna be the spiritual meaning of Halloween. And Halloween is right fucking tonight, nigga. Your ancestors are showing up tonight. And Halloween, them niggas gonna be in fucking serious, having a fucking orgy, drinking soma, getting a back rub. Not giving a fuck about what you got going on, but now you have the opportunity to petition and to work with particular energies. Do your offerings. Do your work. Get in tune. Utilize the energy. And if you can't get it tonight, it's okay. What do we say about full moons? 3 days before, 3 days after. Manipulating the matrix, we call it a full moon week. Full moon transit, full moon period. Tune in to that particular period and energy and give offerings, give thanks. And then for longer term, 6 months of a spirit or an energy of giving thanks and rituals. Just because it's the season. This is the particular area of the celestials where the ancestors exist. Arcturus, Scorpio, Sagittarius, Capricorn. This is where our ancestors are at. It's like our backs are turned to them as we spinning around on this circle, and we can hear them, we can feel them, but when we turn the corner into Virgo, we can see them. So work with them. Don't ignore them. Because your dad died on the 3rd of September, and it's the day that you always remember. I want to show y'all one more thing before I get up off this live. Something that I find to be very interesting about ourselves. Not that, but this. This represents the energy of the full moon. The energy of the full moon is the energy of long-term memory. Now, we might not understand the capacity of our long-term memory, so let me just tell you. Long-term memory can hold an infinite, unlimited amount of information for an indefinite period of time. And you know why? Because the DNA holds all of the memory of the past, present, and future of your life. Tune into that. Not the time that you went away from your DNA by negative emotions and staying in those stagnant states of existence, but moving into the energy of motion, emotion, in alignment with your soul body, you will get downloads and information about who you are. Why is this the most important thing? Because you want shit. And the shit's not just going to come to your door. Hey, I'm a flat screen TV. I just want to come be in your house. You know, you got to be the nigga that can afford it. The person who got the money in the bank account. And trust me, you got all of the information in your DNA. So beyond meditating, get into some ritualistic shit. Get up and dance. Shake your ass. But wash yourself. Show me what you're working with. No, I hope y'all enjoyed the share. I hope you learned something from the share. A comment if you need to comment. Share the video if you share it. But if you liked it, of course, like it. If you dislike it, dislike it. You know, do what you need to do. You know what I'm saying? Process your triggers. Learn from your triggers. Get over your triggers. Because, like, if you find yourself triggered in this week or the previous 2 weeks, moving into the next 2 weeks, those were opportunities for that part of you to leave your being. Because it's in your being, suppressed now, sleeping. So when it awakens, it's like, it's like you had a bad experience. No, it's a good experience. It's gotten up out of you. So now you can be clear about where you're about to go in the future. And trust me, you know, because within your DNA, it's called long-term memory. A limited amount of information for a definite amount of time, nigga. You got files and files and files of information within yourself that you need to access and tap into so you can be the nigga that you supposed to be out here in this shit. Trust me. Do the work. Get rid of the baggage. I don't care how you feel. I don't know what you're thinking about. I don't care what you want. I don't care what you need. Tap into you. Tap into you. Write some shit. Do some shit. Be some shit. Like, get into the energy. And allow the energy to enlighten your ass. Cause the Kundalini is at a highly raised state this evening during the week. So when you feel shit and when you experience shit, it's your higher self telling you, we need to let this shit go. Okay? Let it go. Kundalini is in a supta state or rested state. And the Uttara Bhadrapada, this full moon, is an indication of Kundalini energy in a highly raised state. So get into it. Get into the energy. Raise that Kundalini. Do something spectacular in your backyard. Shake your ass. But wash yourself. Show me what you're working with. I'll see y'all on the flip side. Peace.